And now on to our big focus story. 4 of the 5 juveniles who were arrested in early June in Hyderabad in connection with a gang rape of a 16-year-old girl who was abducted from a pub have been released on bail. The Juvenile Justice Board in Nampally court granted them bail. However, rejected the bail petition of the 5th juvenile, son of an MLA, on the ground that his bail petition was pending before the High Court. The court directed them to cooperate with the investigating officers and appear before the authorities whenever they are called. In fact, my colleague Somit is tracking all the details for us in this case. I will get in Somit here to explain to us the sequence of events. Somit, this was a case from last month. Give us more details on what grounds, firstly, that the 4 accused got bail, and what is the status of the probe?
Well, actually, in the month of May, while the month ending on around May 30th, the case started. Actually, the complaint was filed by the victim's father, and later, on the June 1st, case was taken up by the police, and they have registered, several sections and done, relevant sections of IPC as well as the POCSO Act. And later, the investigation was delayed for a couple of days. And because, VVIPs are involved and the TRS Neta's son is involved, MIM MLA's son is involved in that matter. Actually, we couldn't take their names because those accused are minors and they are JCL. So, after that, immediately, the case was delayed, and police have also faced allegations in this matter. Finally, after media taking up this matter, after this issue, went viral and also turned public, police have started taking the action. And on June 3rd, they have arrested the first accused, the major who was involved in the rape case. And later, subsequently, they have arrested 4 more accused, and actually 5 were involved in that rape case, including 1 major. So 4 juveniles and 1 major was involved in that case, and they are booked under relevant sections of IPC. And also there was another MIM MLA's son who was also, involved in the sexual assault, but he was missing while, he went, he got down the car while rape has reported. So later he was also booked on June 10th after commissioner reported. And even police have faced allegations why they are not booking, MIM MLA's son. Even BJP came, BJP conducted the press conference and stated that why MIM MLA's son was not booked when, there was clear video of that, MIM MLA's son, sexually assaulting that minor girl. And later, however, he was also booked and, under relevant sections of POCSO, that is 9 and 10 of POCSO, on 10th of June, and even others, including the major and the minors, have been booked under sections of 376 and 5, 6, and 4 of POCSO Act, and they were sent to the judicial remand. Minors have been sent to the minor prison, and the major has been sent to the Chenchalguda prison. However, they have applied for the bail, even in the concerned court, and they even went to the High Court. And for a couple of times, their bail got rejected, and finally, today, they have been granted bail. These 4 minors, juveniles who are involved in the gang rape case, they have been granted bail, and the major, the accused, the prime accused, Shadullah, is still in the prison, and his bail was cancelled, however. So he's right now in prison, and 4 others will be soon released by today evening, late evening, or by tomorrow morning, once the order reaches to the juvenile home in the Hyderabad city.
Okay, thanks, Amit, for joining us and giving us a detailed understanding of this case. Now, forensic analysis has nailed the 5 accused in this gang rape case this gang rape that happened at Jubilee Hills area of Hyderabad. And now, equipped with clinching evidence, the police are all set to file a charge sheet before the court in the coming days, charging all the accused of gang rape. Like my colleague mentioned, another accused, who's son of a local MLA, would be also charged for outraging the modesty of a woman. Now, the primary case over here is on whether the minors would be let off with a minor sentence because of the Juvenile Justice Board's intervention in cases like this. Let me welcome here on the program Namit Saxena, advocate of the Supreme Court, and Rekha Aggarwal, and also advocate, joining us here on the program. Very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Big Focus. I would like to begin by asking you, Namit Saxena, whether this would be a major setback for the rape survivor. The severity of the crime is the same, its impact is the same, but the age of the perpetrator becomes a determining factor?
See, such is the law. So the law, categorizes if somebody is below 18 years of age, or if somebody is between the age bracket of 16 to 18 years of age. So these are the law classifies, the severity of punishment depending upon the age of the perpetrator of the alleged crime. Now, in this case, the trial court, the juvenile board rather, has seen, that they have already rejected the bail applications of these juveniles twice. After rejecting it twice, when the investigation is over, now the custodial interrogation of these juveniles in conflict with law is not required. So they have taken a conscious decision to release them on bail, subject to certain conditions, of course, that they'll produce themselves as and when required for the trial or for any further investigation which is to be done. So, see, also, this is settled law that bail is the rule and jail is the exception, particularly for juveniles to, because keeping them behind bars has two, repercussions both ways. One, that if they have committed a heinous crime like this, then if they're inside, a juvenile home, they can instigate others to, similarly do it as one part.
But can't they instigate outside? How can that be an argument? I believe for the grounds, one of the solid grounds for bail is that so-and-so is not likely to tamper with evidence, so-and-so is not likely to repeat the crime if he is let off and will not prove to be a nuisance for the society. But you are saying that if they are kept in the juvenile home, they are likely to commit a similar crime?
No, see, what I'm trying to say is something completely different. What I'm trying to say is that, already the juveniles who are in conflict with law, they're already inside, juvenile homes. So if they are lodged with them, they can perhaps instigate them to come out and do something like this, so this is one angle of it. But regarding the argument that there can be tampering of witnesses or there can be tampering of evidence, see, once the investigating agency is seized of the matter, and they have already seized whatever evidence is available, whatever forensic evidence is available also. They must have sent it to FSL, the FSL report. I don't know if it has come or is likely to come soon. So that, tampering of evidence is, in a sense, beyond their reach to an extent. Tampering of witnesses is something which, we don't know, because charge sheet is yet to be filed and we don't know the array of the list of prosecution witnesses yet. So that is still to be seen. But at this stage, the court has, the juvenile board has taken a decision that, that their custody at this time is not required. They'll subject themselves to trial as and when required, but their custody may not be required at this stage. In case, because their age, etc., is to be proven also, subject to whatever documents are available, 10th mark sheet or whatever, there's a list of documents in the Juvenile Act. So this is all yet to be done. So the court has taken a decision that at this point of time, keeping them behind bars or keeping them in a special custody is not fruitful to an extent. So that's why I think they have been released on bail.
Especially rape of a minor, is that justified? Could you come in on this, Rekha Aggarwal? Because if I remember correctly, Indian Parliament has passed a bill which allows juveniles between 16 and 18 years of age to be tried as adults for serious crimes like rape or murder. Can the 4 minors who are granted bail today be tried as adults? And do you agree with what Mr. Saxena had to say about why it was prudent to give them bail?
I heard what my learned brother at the bar has just said about the provisions of law regarding bail, that in our country, bail is the norm and jail is an exception.
Yes.
To that extent, that is the legal jurisprudence behind criminal matters. I agree with that. But at the same time, considering the fact that this particular case is a very, very heinous offense has been committed, which has shocked the conscience of the entire nation. So, of course, we do not want to make an example of these people. Each case has to be tried on its own, and does not have to be a media trial. But considering the fact that this is such a serious offense, such a heinous offense committed by minors between the age of 16 to 18, and that too again on a minor girl of 16 years. So I think that, and the very fact that the charge sheet has not been filed, I would not like to really comment upon the learned judge's wisdom in passing the order granting bail. But I would have expected, that the charge sheet should have been filed, and only then the bail applications should have been considered. Because once the charge sheet has not been filed, it means that the police is still completing the investigation. So even while the investigation is going on, the charge sheet has not been filed. the learned judge in his wisdom has thought it fit to grant bail. And this is, of course, the fact that these boys are going to come out, and the chances of them intimidating the rape survivor as well as any other witness to the case become very, very real, and not just imaginary.
Which is
So,
why it's a
yes,
big worry when in these
big
kind
worry.
of cases you have
Yes.
minors let off on bail, which, like you said, we do agree is supposed to be the norm as per law. But is the law equipped to punish the guilty when minors are involved in gang rape cases? Because the sentence is very minor. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 4 years if they're tried as minors, as opposed to very stringent sections of POCSO which would apply if they are treated as adults. Unfortunately, I'm completely out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks to my panelists for giving us your views.